Yeah, real talk. The Epstein files are being used to shift the power structure throughout our entire society and societies around the world of the established nations. That has to be what's going on. So there's running theories that the Epstein files were never meant to be released. The only reason that they were released is because of pressure that's been applied by the public and all this other stuff. No. We are all participating in a mass ritual, but what we're also seeing is a changing of the guard. Not necessarily complete money depletion or the complete eradication of a family, but we're seeing certain families be pushed towards the back in order for new ones to step in. Now, I'm not sure quite yet who the new ones are going to be, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with this whole Epstein file situation. It's serving a purpose. The purpose is not necessarily justice. The purpose is reorganization of the malevolent God's structure that they have in place right now. The motion of some in order for the promotion of others to take place.
Thomas Pritzker is stepping down as executive chairman of Hyatt Hotels over what he called terrible judgment in maintaining contact with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. In a letter to the board, the 75-year-old said he would not seek re-election this year. He said in his statement, "Good stewardship also means protecting Hyatt, particularly in the context of my association with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, which I deeply regret. I exercised terrible judgment in maintaining contact with them, and there is no excuse for failing to distance myself sooner."
The only reason he's saying all that is because he got caught. Had he never got caught, we would never know. He would never have stepped down from where he is. But somebody wanted him to step down. I'm telling you, man, this is all manipulation by design. It's all manipulation by design. And it's going to take something larger than Trump on his own to be able to make this happen.
Pritzker has held the role since 2004 and highlighted Hyatt's growth under his leadership. Steps taken during his time include taking the company public, shifting to a so-called asset-light strategy, and navigating the COVID-19 pandemic. His announcement comes after the U.S. Justice Department released millions of internal documents tied to Epstein. These reveal the late financier's connections to high-profile figures in politics, finance, academia, and business, both before and after his 2008 guilty plea on prostitution charges. Epstein was arrested again in 2019 on federal charges of sex trafficking of minors, and later that year died in a Manhattan jail cell with his...
Allegedly. He allegedly died in that jail cell. But as you can see, this is a part of that changing of the guard. This is really going to be a stain for the Pritzker family. I mean, but when you work billions, how much of a stain could really be created? But this public humiliation that's going on, it has to be by design. It's not by mistake. He have his husband, I believe, J.B. Pritzker, over there doing a terrible job in Chicago, Illinois. If you guys keep any kind of track of Anton Daniels and his work, he lets everybody know how terrible of a job J.B. Pritzker is doing. And it kind of speaks for itself. The people do not like him. His rights over there are trash, but what can you do when you're dealing with a billionaire? Now, there's been a lot of high-profile people that's coming out bit by bit dealing with this Epstein situation. Earlier in the week, we also had a revelation from the royal family. They're not even off guards. They're not off limits. So that lets you know that there's another royal family that has to be at play, or somebody within the royal family that's making a power move as well. I feel like if we trace the lines back to the connections amongst people, there's people that's close to these people that know of their involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, and they want to see these people get moved out of position so their positions can be taken. So let's check out and see what happened with the royal family's Prince Andrews and his arrest earlier this week.
We'll get to his arrest in a moment, but we're hearing he's just been released, Andrew. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Good morning, Shebo. And yes, he has been just released. I've just seen an image of the former Prince Andrew lying down in the back of a car. The flashlight of the cameras that were waiting for him to come out the police station have captured this image. And it tells you what an extraordinary series of events we've seen today. Not only the King's brother being arrested, 6 police cars unmarked, turning up at the King's residence, interviewing him under caution. And
why that man looking like that?
you know what?
For real, like, why is that man looking like that, bro? I'm not even trying to be funny, but that man look like he cracked out for me when he got in the car. That's what his face is. That man has to be mortified. Apparently, you know, honestly, he probably has let the royalty down. He probably has let his family down. There's no telling what kind of punishment he's gonna receive behind the scenes. Cause with him making a face like this, it's got to be serious.
Is the state of play for him now? I would imagine we're still waiting on confirmation, but he will have been bailed to an address. That address will be the King's Sandringham estate that he just moved into just a few days ago. But this is an extraordinary series of events for the royal family. Certainly the King has moved to try and distance the royal family from Andrew today, saying that the law must take its place. And for Andrew, certainly these are very, very serious allegations that he's facing.
Also, for those who are not aware, yeah, the King kicked that man out the crib. Kicked that man out the crib, told him, man, yo, you hot right now. You gotta go. And so he recently moved into another estate because he couldn't even be a part of the royal family's household anymore. Not a part of the family, but living amongst the family, so to speak. Man, look, you can do all the dirt you want, but as soon as you get caught, people like, yo, I can't have that on me, bro. I cannot have that on me.
Russell, how does the monarchy distance itself from that?
Well, the situation for the King is very, very difficult because, you know, he is still paying for him to be housed. I understand the pressure is on Andrew to meet his own legal expenses. No doubt they will be considerable. But the King obviously has a duty of care to his brother and a duty of care to the public as well, because the public sense of revulsion in all of these cases and the allegations facing Andrew is very, very high indeed. So the King doesn't want him to be a burden on the public finances. But where does this leave Andrew? You know, these are serious allegations. The allegation and charge of misconduct in a public office actually has a sentence of a potential life imprisonment, and that tells you how serious this is. Obviously, this is just plain.
That man not about to get no life in prison. If that man get life in prison, whoever it is that's out there making these power moves with the Epstein files are serious. They serious. They serious right now. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Sir Prince Andrew. But these Epstein files are tripping people up, man. But things like this don't happen without reasoning. I want to bring our attention to another victim, so to speak, of the Epstein files, Mr. Casey Wasserman. And yes, Casey Wasserman is currently serving. He is currently serving on the LA Olympics committee. Yeah, he's currently serving on that committee. And this is another guy that's starting to feel the sting. And it's funny how they're being selective about those that are mentioned, though. Like, I'm still trying to understand the reasoning behind that. But hey, let's check this out.
Media mogul and chairman of the 2028 LA Olympics Organizing Committee, Casey Wasserman, now selling his talent agency amid major fallout over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
No, say it ain't so. I know he's not getting rid of the cash cow. He can't be selling the money. Yo, when guys start selling the money, that means it's serious. Like, dudes don't just sell the money for no reason. He's selling what creates the money for him. Now, that's not, I'm sure, with him being an American elite, that is not the only form of income that he has that generates income for him, but I bet it's one of his more viable ones. And that's very serious. That's very serious. Let's keep going.
Pop star Chapel Roan among a growing number severing her ties with Wasserman over his actions. In a late-night memo,
I always do you like that.
That he had, quote, become a distraction, writing, first and foremost, I want to apologize to you. I'm deeply sorry that my past personal mistakes have caused you so much discomfort. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to the clients and partners we represent so vigorously and care so deeply about.
In some ways, this is just a repeat of what we've heard before. Again, trying to move the conversation away from what the conversation is clearly centered on.
In Washington, members of Congress now calling out the Department of Justice for what is being kept secret in the files and the thousands of pages that have yet to be released.
There are enormous amount of...
Let me say this for the record. Our Congress is shiesty, bro. I get so tired of these. I don't know what's going on with them. Man, everyone that's a voice right now for that Congress just gets on my nerves because I know they're just playing a role, bro. Like, they're not innocent. They really don't care about anything but tearing down our current administration. And I'm not saying that the administration is blameless. Pam Bundy got on my nerves the other week in that Senate hearing because she wouldn't address or answer any of the real questions from the facts that they were presenting to her. But my Congress is getting on my nerves. It's like a big witchcraft ritual, bro. That's just stirring up strife for no reason. Like, the reasons that these people are actually in the position that they're in, it's not what they're doing. It's really like one big talk show or something. And it's annoying. It's like a big episode of political Jerry Springer with the Congress being at the center point. That's annoying. I swear that's annoying.
Actions of powerful, wealthy men who are not supposed to be redacted as part of the law. So why are we protecting these powerful billionaires?
For the talent agency Titan, the fallout centers around his suggestive messages with Maxwell. In Wasserman's memo, he wrote that he had limited interactions with Epstein and Maxwell, and it was years before their criminal conduct came to light. But the revelations in the Epstein files delivering a devastating blow to the 51-year-old and the
Man, hey, he tripped, bro. Ghislaine Maxwell was the bust down, bro. They were trying to get on some of that, man. On the low, all these folks super freaky, bro. You gotta think about it. For the ones that serve the malevolent gods, sex is of the highest form of worship amongst these people. Just doing derogatory things, doing the opposite of what is good is of the highest form of serving their gods. So you have to understand that. So they bubble over with excitement for just promiscuous women and dabbling in things that the general public doesn't know that they're doing. Those are the things that kind of bring them out. They're like, yes, yeah, you know, it gives them that rush. And not just that rush, but it makes them feel like higher servants. And even for the ones who are unconscious of the gods that they're serving, they still have a chemical reaction to doing the dark thing and doing the scandalous thing. This dude is not innocent, bro. He knew about Ghislaine Maxwell. He knew what was going on with Epstein and all of them. And he wanted the bust down. That's just the truth of the matter. Let's keep going.
he had built.
How this will all fall out is probably going to be like the fallout from Alexander the Great's empire. It's all going to be in bits everywhere, but people are going to pick it up.
New messages.
All right, so just to put a bow on this, you guys have to see beyond what they're showing you. You have to be able to read between the lines on what's going on. Look, this right here is not just the ousting of prominent people. It's not. This serves a purpose. Remember the symbol of the snake eating itself? That symbol represents the adversarial kingdom, Satan's kingdom, so to speak, from a Christian worldview. meaning that not only does the symbol represent eternity, but the symbol also represents that kingdom eating its own. So when you see mass exodus like this, where you see prominent people that's been prominent for decades starting to go down in flames all in one generation, what you're seeing is a collapsing of certain pieces of power in order for a promotion of other pieces of power to come. Now, I can't tell you that I know the exact specifics on who's going to replace who, but they will reveal themselves as the years go by. So just keep your eyes peeled. Y'all, this is a Powerful Potential show, where we look at the world through a Christian worldview and try to paste the pieces of the plan together for understanding for the masses. Yo, please, I implore you, if you have not given your life to Christ, please give your life to Christ. Go to your local church, dedicate yourself to the Lord. Please do that for us. This whole thing is about you creating a relationship with God, and it would be crazy of me not to let you know that this is something that you must do and a step that you must take in your life. And I want to thank you for getting to the end of the video. Please like and subscribe to the Powerful Potential channel. We are here to try to introduce you to Christ and to introduce you to a spiritual lens to view life through. Thank you.